Hello and welcome to From No Crypto to No Crypto. This is Blockchain Wayne bringing you another cryptocurrency podcast. Today's episode is brought to us by Concierge Club, mobile private key wallet and a point of sale solution. Concierge Club makes purchasing easy, safe, and the overall process more efficient while costing less, helping to make cryptocurrency mainstream. All right, let's take a look. What's going on in the market? Who is ruling the market? It looks like the bears still have control of the crypto market today. All right, so Bitcoin is down slightly at the time of this recording, down about 1% from yesterday, but many altcoins are bleeding. Many in the top 50 are down anywhere as much from 5 to 10%. Looking like Bitcoin dominance has now crept up to 57.39%. Now, what does that mean? That means that Bitcoin accounts for over 57% of the total market value of the cryptocurrency market, which could be a good thing if we see a price reversal at some point, meaning that you will see Bitcoin take a big run up, and then typically you see altcoin, what many people call altcoin season, after Bitcoin makes a run up, which is when the altcoins make a return, recoup some of their losses, and make a run up as well. But we are nowhere showing any kind of indicators that that's going to happen anytime soon. Could be wrong. This market is very volatile, could start any day. So just make sure you're ready at this point. I would look at possibly accumulating some of these that are in the deep dark red. All right, so let's take a look. What is going on in the news today? So as I just mentioned, Bitcoin dominance is eyeing close to 60%. Ethereum's price has been floundering lately, which is giving Bitcoin some more market dominance. Bitcoin has found stability around the 6,200 range. Now, I say we're down about 1% on Bitcoin. Looking at it, anything from 6,200 to 6,400 for me is considered sideways movement. Until we start busting out of that and moving forward again, it is still sideways movement as well, with no control. Looking like for the bulls, looks like the bears are still in control. So also in the news, so the past 3 days, Valdis Dombrovskis, the vice president of the EU Commission, has basically said that cryptocurrencies will coexist in the financial system. With that, NASDAQ is preparing to release a crypto analytics tool for investors. Citigroup has shared its plans to support crypto custody, and the Winklevoss twins-led Gemini has launched the first fully audited and licensed stablecoin in the market. So some of these news articles I talked about in the last episode, some of them I'm going to cover in this episode, but just pay attention. The news is overwhelmingly positive as far as crypto adoption and major institutions getting involved in cryptocurrency. Regardless of what the price action is doing right now, the only thing negative in the news right now actually has been the price action of the market. So looking at that, NASDAQ, as I mentioned, is said to be building a tool to predict crypto price movement. So NASDAQ might be on the cusp of giving institutional investors an edge when it comes to trading hundreds of crypto assets. So according to someone that's familiar with the company's plan, the U.S. Stock Exchange is preparing to add tools for predicting the price movements of crypto assets in its analytics hub. The hub, which actually launched last year, draws on machine learning and natural language processing capabilities to parse through social media, other alternative data sources to give investors a better way to assess market movement. A lot of people call this sentiment analysis, but as simple as looking at Google searches all the way to what is the sentiment, what is the tone of what's being put out there in the media, on social media, to get an overall assessment of the market. It's very smart. You want to combine that with many other indicators, but that is something that is being used. So Bill Daig, who's the NASDAQ head of alternative data, told CoinDesk that given the abundance of interest, we are exploring cryptocurrency-related data sets. But he went on to temper that response, adding, whether or not we launch a crypto-related product remains to be seen. So it looks like they're still not ready to make an official announcement. The new functionality is currently being beta tested ahead of a launch, which is supposedly being targeted for November. All right, so also in the news today, the authorities of 2 U.S. states have asked Indian officials to seize the property of 2 different promoters of BitConnect. Now, if you're not familiar with BitConnect was a scam coin that was out there last year. It was on a lending platform where basically you would give BitConnect your Bitcoin, and they would lend you their BitConnect coin, which had a value. At one time, it peaked over $400. But once the lending platform shut down because it was a Ponzi scheme that eventually could not sustain itself, the market crashed, dropped from over $300 to $20 in one day. and then we saw it slowly drop to less than $1. And recently, it was just removed from the last exchange it was being traded on because it has no value. So investors would transfer their BTC to the firm and were issued BitConnect coins in return, which they could trade on, in which they received interest. So that's how you describe BitConnect. These promoters lured thousands of investors by promising 800% returns per annum on investments. Now, these two guys, I'm probably going to butcher the names, but Satish Kumbani and Devesh Darji began the crypto operations in December 2016, and the 800% returns, they were, promoting this company, and there's some promotions that have been screenshotted that show that they were guaranteeing 800% returns. Now, I do know some people personally that made some money in BitConnect, but also know a lot more that lost because in a Ponzi scheme, it eventually will collapse. Now, you may make some money back if you get in early. You may be lucky enough to get your money out, but eventually at some point, somebody will get hurt. All you're getting paid back on is somebody else's money that will possibly not get that back. So that's what's going on with BitConnect. And that is really it for our news today. There was a lot in the news. Didn't want to talk about everything too deeply, but that was one thing I did want to talk about was those different topics here. So we'll look at Crypto Education Corner. And today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about white papers. So it's typical for a coin to publish a white paper explaining their purpose, goal, and technology, right? So a white paper contains more technical and in-depth discussions on the project that the startup is building. This could include the consensus algorithm the project decides to use, how the nodes that operate on the project platform will function, and the token system. So not all white papers are going to have the same structure. They tend to discuss in some form or another the following topics. So you look at, they have an introduction, definition of the problem, project's technical solution, applications of the project, a roadmap, and a token sale, and it should include the development team. All right, especially the ones that are coming out now. Now, many that have been tried and tested, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, may not actually list in specifics all the development team, but definitely looking at something to invest in on the short term that may be a new coin coming out. You want to make sure that you are looking at the development team as well. So an introduction is important to providing a primer as to what the reader can expect from reading the white paper. It can vary in technical difficulty. Some of them are hard to understand depending on the audience the white paper is intended for. The definition of the problem that the startup is trying to solve provides context as to why the project is needed in the first place. This is a big key when you're trying to figure out what you're investing in. To clear the definition of the problem to the reader, the easier it becomes for them to see a need and therefore the potential benefits of the project. So you want to read the white papers of these companies. Now, I would tell you this: if you are in cryptocurrency at this point, or you're even looking at it, trying to decide if you want to get in, the very first thing you need to do is read the white paper of Bitcoin. Get the education on what you're truly investing in. If you're buying a coin, any coin, without reading the white paper, you're part of the problem. That is just dumb money you're investing without understanding the problem. Now, I'm not saying you have to read the white paper if you're going to day trade something. If you're going to buy and sell short term for a profit, you don't need to know about the technology behind it or what the white paper says. But if you're going to hold it for any length of time, you want to make sure you understand the white paper. We're currently in a market that's very volatile. At this point, it does not reward a cryptocurrency for having a working product, for having an actual product that it has use for a good use case. But that would change. Right now, it's based on hype. It's based on market sentiment, a lot of emotion. But as this market develops and as we see what's going on, you're going to see this start to shift. So if you're holding something long term, make sure the technical fundamentals are there and then invest in it. So Bitcoin's white paper is on bitcoin.org. You can also recommend you read Ethereum's white paper. Ethereum is geared more towards smart contracts. It's a very big player in the game. It's the #2 cryptocurrency, so you definitely want to read theirs. Now, you can find any cryptocurrency's white paper by a website I mentioned a while back, and I'll mention it again here. It's called coincheckup.com. Once again, that is coincheckup.com. You go there, it gives you a list of cryptocurrencies, list them by market cap, gives you a lot of data, probably the most data I've seen on each cryptocurrency, and you can click on the one you want to look at. So say, for instance, you want to click on Ethereum. It will give you all kinds of different tabs with information. Now, one of them is called resources. You click on resources and it will tell you the site, the website of that cryptocurrency, and it will also tell you it will give you the link to the white paper, which a lot of times should be on the same website, but in Ethereum's case, it's actually on GitHub. But you click on there, you can get any white paper of any cryptocurrency you're looking at. So if you are trying to decide, hey, should I invest in Ripple or EOS or Stellar or Litecoin, the first thing I would tell you, if somebody asked me, should I invest in this, read the white paper. What do you think about the white paper? I would tell somebody, read the white paper and then get back to me and let me know what you think about it. So that is if you're doing a long-term holding. On the next episode, I'm going to dive a little bit more to if somebody's looking to do some, whether it's day trading or just not necessarily day trading, but just trend trading. You know, you may not buy and sell every day, but as the market shifts, you want to buy and sell to turn a profit. Those are not as important to make sure you read the white paper, but if you're going to hold anything longer than a few days, longer than a week, you definitely want to make sure you understand that, or else you'll end up being a big part of the crash when it comes crashing down. All right, so that is it for the episode today. As always, all the news articles that I talk about here on the podcast are available on our Facebook page, From No Crypto to No Crypto. Make sure if you haven't already, go ahead and click like on the page. If you've already clicked the like, click the follow button next to like, and it'll give you the option to select see first, which means you will see, you make sure you'll never miss an update from our Facebook page, because all these news articles and more news articles that are pertinent to cryptocurrency are posted on there throughout each day, every day, along with episodes of this podcast. If you want to get a little bit more technical, learn a little bit more about the basics, the beginning in cryptocurrency, I always like to mention I do have a book on Amazon under the same name as this podcast, From No Crypto to No Crypto. A Beginner's Guide to Cryptocurrency is a short 40-page read that gives you just the basics and the resources you need to get started. It's available in paperback and Kindle ebook. When you purchase the paperback, you get the Kindle ebook for free. All right. So once again, that is it for our episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.